Hey YouTube, welcome to my channel, Gardening with Joy. And today, instead of showing my garden, I want to talk about my experience as a first-time gardener and really how I started. And the experience so far has been absolutely great. I've had a lot of vegetables that I've been able to enjoy. My cherry tomatoes have been out of this world. Last night I made some spaghetti sauce using my cherry tomatoes and a little basil, some basil leaves that I've grown out in the garden, and added some other little spices, some Italian seasoning. And let me tell you, it came out great. Sauteed some garlic and some olive oil, and then threw the tomatoes in there. It was absolutely delicious. And I'm not just saying it because I grew the tomatoes and everything and made the sauce, but it really was good. Very authentic tasting, like when you go to an Italian restaurant. The tomato sauce hits you a little different than that ragu that's in a jar that's full of sodium. So I definitely love that. And as soon as I get some more cherry tomatoes, which I'm going to harvest today, I will probably be making some pasta next week using those cherry tomatoes. So my journey with garden started last year when I was talking about retirement and mentioned to people, once I retire, I want to grow a garden. I want to have tomatoes and cucumbers and beans and corn. That's what I want to do when I retire. And that's what I did. And like I said, so far, it's been a great journey. There's been a few mistakes that I made, which is understandable, but you learn from that. I'm not going to say failure because I don't think there's no failures in gardening. There's errors and things and mistakes that can be corrected sometimes to save whatever you're growing, and sometimes it's just a lost cause. So the only thing that I say that I've done wrong is companion planting. I planted a lot of stuff that was kind of like my squash, for instance. My squash, the leaves got so big it started to cover my pepper plants up, so they're not getting enough sun. Also, the squash that I planted, I bought 3 of them. Starter plants from Lowe's. And those plants actually, I planted them too close together. So that, excuse me, my dog's trying to get in. Can you get in? You either stay in or out. Dogs are worse than children. You need to stay in or out the house. But anyway, I got my sunglasses on and I'm still sweating. I'm in my sunroom. I've been outside in the garden. So I said, you know what? Let me do a video about my experience. So back to the squash. I planted that too close together. And, I got all these different vines. They're everywhere. It's hard to get to the squash that's ready. And then some squash that I did miss. And now it's no good because it's old and squishy. Some of it didn't get pollinated. So now I know if I'm going to do a summer squash or something like that, one plant need to have its own section almost. So that was a lesson learned. Also with some corn that I planted corn in 2 different containers. One container is doing awesome. I actually harvested a piece of corn last week and it was real sweet. The kernels were a little bit small, but I was like, I'm going to let the rest of them stay out there for a few more weeks and sweat. So I'm going to be wiping here. So that's what I'm doing with the corn. But my smaller container, corn didn't do well at all. I don't know if the container was too small, but I kind of did the same process with both of the containers, putting the feeding it food and different things like that when I thought it needed, when I saw the leaves and stuff start to turn yellow. So, that little small container corn didn't make it, so I'll be taking that down and putting it in my compost bin. And then the next thing, let's talk about my YouTubers that I love to follow that gave me, I felt like, great advice to be successful for my first time garden. And the first person that I have to mention is Led Farmer. came across this brother. I mean, it doesn't get any more simple than what he's expressing you need to do. Dig a hole, put it in the ground, cover it up with some dirt. And pretty much that's exactly what I did. Of course, I put, the nutrients and different things that the soil needed, but I didn't overdo it. I think I used something I bought from Lowe's that was fruit and vegetables that you put in the soil and, rake it all in. And it worked out fine. And then as my plants started to grow and get older, I started to notice that the leaves started to turn yellow on some of them, and that's how I started following Lady Cheryl, or Cheryl Organics Food Forest. I started following her, and she talked about this 511, this fish emoji. So I hold on, baby, I'm doing a video, okay? So I started following her, another YouTuber. Great advice when she does her live videos. It's really like you're sitting in the class, and this is your first time gardener, and you're listening to what she's saying. You're looking at the questions that people are asking in the chat, and she's actually answering the questions. It's awesome. I learned a whole lot from her channel. And then the next channel I started watching, because I wanted to find the channel that was in my grow zone, which is 7A in Virginia. And I came across Skinny Boy Randy. And today I am actually wearing one of his t-shirts, Gardening with Skinny Boy Randy. I don't know if I can live. Okay. Another one. Just keeps things simple. Learned about, you can get a lot of good gardening stuff from the Dollar Tree. And I learned that from Skinny Boy Randy. Gardening doesn't have to cost you a lot of money, So with these YouTubers, that's why if I can catch somebody on live, I like to shoot them a super chat. Because I look at it as like they have a YouTube channel, and they're giving great advice. So if there's any way that I can support the channel by buying a t-shirt, repping your zone, Gardening with Skinny Boy Randy t-shirt, or sending a super chat, because that's my way of showing that I appreciate you teaching, giving giving the advice out, the things that you've done to make your garden successful. So I really appreciate them sharing that video. And also, I want to give a shout out to another sister that's really, really doing her thing on YouTube, and she's a first-time gardener. And when her videos pop up, I definitely show support and watch her, because she is doing the daggone thing. And her channel is Best Yet Journey out of South Carolina. The sister is doing the damn thing. First-time gardener. She's growing these beautiful vegetables. The land that she's on is absolutely beautiful. She's even now doing canning. I'm like, wow. The only thing that I plan on doing is pickling some cucumbers. That's as far as I'm going to go with the canning right now. I may try to do some tomato sauce or something like that, but she's doing the daggone thing. And 100% support that sister right there, because she's doing it. And also from Best Yet Journey, I learned about this other YouTuber that I didn't know about called Diva Jones. And I'm a new subscriber to her channel, and I caught her live, and she's another one. Just keep things simple. It's going to show you some love back. You show it love, it show you love back. So I appreciate those type of channels. I'm not going to be going out buying all these different products. If two things that I use, I think I have some blood meal, and I have that fish emulsion, and it's been working great for me. And I tell people all the time, it's nothing like when I go out in my garden and I'm looking at things, and I'm looking at my baby cucumbers. Then I go out there the next day, there's a giant ass cucumber like this long that I just never saw. I'm like, how did I miss that? Same thing with my peppers too, checking everything, checking for bugs, and go out there a couple of days later, there's a big ass pepper. I guess it all kind of blends in, and I miss it, and I'd be so excited when I see it. I'd be so excited, and Yeah, so that's been my experience gardening with joy. It's definitely been a joy. And if anybody's out there watching, I sure do appreciate you. Happy gardening to you. Have a good day.